Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so this class we are going to see the different softwares based on their licenses. So we have seen different softwares. The previous class, what are the different types of softwares? System software, Lydia, system software. Yes, system software.
Application software.
Application software. And we have seen again in application software, we had different types, system software, we had different types. So that is one kind of classification. Next classification is classification based on the license. What is the meaning of license? Gauri is our sister, the class, she's absent. She's there? No. So, what is license? Donna? Muhammad Adim. What is a license? Not you, Donna. Muhammad Adim. Hello? Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Driving license. What is the meaning of driving license?
Ma'am,
License to drive.
License to drive. If you don't have a license, you can't drive, isn't it? And there are certain rules and regulations. In the same way, computer softwares also have some licenses. So based on the license, it is divided into proprietary software. What is that word? Proprietary software, freeware, shareware, open source software, free software. So we have lots of classifications. Proprietary software, freeware, shareware, open source software, and free software. So, what is a freeware? Freeware. W-A-R-E, freeware. What is an example? Now, Donna, tell me. What can be freeware? Example, can you tell me one example? Freeware.
Apps you use for free.
Used for free. Example. That's correct. Used for free. What about
Games.
Zoom? Did you pay any money to install and use the Zoom?
No, it's for free.
Zoom is an example of freeware. What about Facebook? We have lots of apps in your Play Store or App Store. So all free apps are examples of freewares. Okay, hope you understood what is a freeware. Yes or no, Donna?
Yeah,
No.
understood.
Yes.
Free.
Okay. So what can be shareware? Shareware. Adul, any idea? What is a shareware?
When someone shares us that software.
No. Even the word is share, but the meaning is not that. Shareware means it is free to download for a certain period of time. After that, you have to pay for it. That is shareware. You know, when you download some games or some PDF to Word converter or Word to PDF converter, you will get trial period, isn't it? 7 days or 1 month trial periods. For that trial period, you can use it freely, but you have to pay money after 1 month or after 7 days after trial period. That kind of softwares are called shareware. Clear? Clear? Emmanuel, any doubt? Unmute and say that.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Then you have proprietary software. That is just opposite of freeware. It is not free. Paid softwares are called proprietary softwares. Example, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, and all this Flash. So there are examples of proprietary software. Then comes free softwares. What can be free softwares? Sri Hari.
Now we can use it for free.
Louder.
Now we can use it for free.
Once again, louder, louder.
Ma'am, it's free. We can use without money.
Once again. It's not clear. I can hear something, but it's not clear.
Ma'am, it's free software. We can use it for free.
Free. So then what makes this difference from freeware?
I don't know, ma'am.
So freeware is you can download freely and you can use. The difference of free software is, and before that, before free software, we have another software called open source software. Have you heard about open source software? Open source software. Anyone? Meenakshi? Open source software? Yes or no? Have you heard about it? Which language you are studying in computer science or IP, whatever it is? Which language?
Python.
Python. Python is an example of open source software. The open source software means open source. What is the meaning of source? When you write a program in any language, it can be VB or C++, any language you write a program, that particular window where you write that code is called your source code. What is that called? Who's all waiting? Okay. That is called your source code. So you're writing program and that program code is called source code. And you studied about system software. In that there was debuggers, interpreters and compilers, isn't it? What is the duty of compiler? Atul?
Compiles different programs.
And into? Finally, what you will get? It translates the program into?
Machine language.
Machine language, very good. So using compilers or interpreters or assemblers, what happens? The source code is converted into machine. So there was a network issue. So we were seeing about open source software. It is called as OSS. OSS, open source software. So we were telling about the source code. Source code is converted into machine code. By whom? By the compiler or interpreters. Then it will become an executable code and the extension will be .exe and it will become an executable code that is done by a software called linker. That we'll study later. So what is a source code? The program in that particular programming language is called source code. So what can be open source software? Open source software. The meaning is that source is open. What is the meaning of source is open? Source means source code. Source code is open freely. Open source software means Python is an example of open source software, and you know that Python itself is written using different types of languages. Or have you heard about Linux operating system? Linux. Ashwin, Linux.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This operating system is a free operating system. That is, this Linux is written in some language. It's a collection of languages. So, suppose Facebook. Can you see the coding of Facebook? Again, question to Ashwin.
No, ma'am.
Can you see how this programming of Facebook is done?
No, ma'am.
No. You can just download it and you can use it. But suppose you're feeling that Facebook, that particular icons are not that much good. I want to make my own changes, and then if I make these changes, it will look more attractive. Can you change it?
No.
Because you are not getting the source code for Facebook. So Facebook is not a free software. But in Python and in Linux and all, if you go to the site and you can see the source code. And if you're an expert in programming, you can change the format of the programming language, or you can do any updations according to your wish. Then there will be a team. The developers team will be there. You have to send to that particular team and you have to get, they will check for that. After that, they will apply this updations in their original Python and they will release as a different version. Source code is open for certain softwares. That kind of softwares are called open source software. Clear? Any doubt? Srihari, you understood what I said just
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
Sana? Yes or no? Sana?
Yes.
Yes, you understood. So it is open. Then what is the difference between a free software and open source software? Source code is open in both the cases. But in open source software, it is may or may not be free. Source code is open for the users to see it, but it may or may not be free of cost. In Python, we can't say that it is open. It can be viewed and it can be updated, but it may or may not be free of cost. But open source free softwares, it is freely open and you can edit and freely distribute. No need of any payment. Completely free. That is the meaning of free software. Now we'll see the specifically what all the things. Yes. So softwares are mainly categorized into based on their licenses. First one is proprietary software, then shareware, freeware, open source software, and free softwares. So these are the main things. Just note it down. Just a moment. Okay. One second. One second, just wait. Yes. Okay. Open source. The first one is proprietary software. Second one is shareware. Third one is freeware, open source, free software. You can see the definition of proprietary software here. We pay a supplier for a copy of the software, which these days may be supplied on physical media or downloaded from internet. That means it's not free. You have to pay for it. That's all you have to write. Then sometimes we'll get as Adobe Photoshop and all, we'll get in CDs you will get. Okay, then you have shareware. Example of proprietary software is Microsoft Office, Windows. These are examples of proprietary software. And you can see, write one more example, Adobe, Photoshop. All the paid softwares are examples. Then comes your shareware. Shareware is basically software for trial purpose. The user is allowed to try for free for a specific period of time and can be downloaded from the net. When the trial period ends, the software must be purchased or uninstalled. Clear? Then comes your freeware. That is, freeware software is free of cost and usually bundled with some operating system. Freeware's example, Microsoft Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer, you can download it freely, not Microsoft Office. And you have all the apps that you see in your mobile. Freely downloadable apps are freewares. Like your Zoom, your Facebook, WhatsApp, all are examples of freeware. Now comes open source. Open source software is a software which gives the users freedom to run or use the software for any purpose and in any manner. And the main point is that they can be used modified. What is the meaning of modified? The code itself we can modify so that the entire appearance will change. Redistributor means after modifying it, redistribution means the updated version can be released. That is the meaning of redistributor. And what is the speciality of that? Meghna, the speciality is that it may not be free of charge. It may or may not be free of charge. And the source code is freely available. It is available for the user freely. That freely means not free of cost. Understood, Achut? Here, freely available means not free of cost. They may charge or they may not charge. you, but it is available for you. That is the meaning of here free. Okay. Then that is, this meaning is freedom. Freedom to view the main code and you can use it. Examples are Python. Python is example. Since you are studying Python, you have to write this example. Python, text paint. They are example like your Microsoft Paint. There is another software called text paint. That is an example of open source software. And the last one is Srihari. Last one is free software. So here it is open source plus it is free. So don't get confused with freeware and free software. There can be a question, what is the difference between free software and freeware? So both are different. So this type of software is freely accessible and can be freely used, modified, copied, or redistributed. There is no need of any license. Source code is also available in case of free softwares. Example, Linux operating system. It is totally free. That is why you can see these pages .org, Python.org. That means non-profitable organization they are. .com means paid. There will be advertisement. It's not free. So non-profitable organization .org. This Linux is .org, Sun Microsystems. Then Python is, if you are downloading Python, you have to download from python.org. That is free. Non-profitable organization extension is .org. Okay? Clear? Any doubt in this? So before winding up, we'll see what are the different types of software. Shivani, tell me. Yes, Shivani.
Ma'am, can you say once again?
What are the different types of softwares based on the licenses?
Ma'am, proprietary software, freeware software, shareware, open source, and free software.
Hope you understood, everyone. Not asking you. Tomorrow I'll give you a question like that polling where we'll see whether you understood or not. Before winding up, since I told you about Sundar Pichai, I'll show you one video from YouTube and just see it, what he is saying. That is the latest video. Many of you might have seen it, but still for you. And tell me whether you are able to hear the voice or not. Okay. Saved it. Can you hear it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations.
But not clear.
As well as your parents, teachers, and everyone.
No. Wait. Video stuff.
Hello.
You were able to see that video, Vidur?
It was a bit laggy.
Okay, now we'll see.
Day. I never imagined I'd be giving a commencement speech with no live audience from my backyard. But it's giving me a much deeper
See,
understanding.
ma'am. Now it's just stuck.
And I certainly never thought I'd be sharing a virtual stage with the former president.
Ma'am, it's not so clear, ma'am. It's breaking in between.
I don't think this is a graduation ceremony any of you imagine. At a time when you should be celebrating all the knowledge you've gained, you may be grieving what you've lost. The moves you planned, the jobs you earned, and the experiences you were looking forward to. In bleak moments like these, it can be difficult to find hope. So let me skip right to the end and tell you what happens. You will prevail. That's not really the end of the speech, so don't get too excited. The reason I know you'll prevail is because so many others have done it before you. 100 years ago, the class of 1920 graduated into the end of a deadly pandemic. 50 years ago, the class of 1970 graduated in the midst of the Vietnam War. And nearly 20 years ago, the class of 2001 graduated just months before 9/11. There are notable examples like this. They had to overcome new challenges, and in all cases, they prevailed. The long arc of history tells us we have every reason to be hopeful. So be hopeful. There is an interesting trend I've noticed. It's very conventional for every generation to underestimate the potential of the following one. It's because they don't realize that the progress of one generation becomes the foundational premise for the next. And it takes a new set of people to come along and realize all the possibilities. I grew up without much access to technology. We didn't get our first telephone till I was 10. I didn't have regular access to a computer until I came to America for graduate school. Under television, when we finally got one, only had one channel. So imagine how awestruck I am today to be speaking to you on a platform that has millions of channels. By contrast, you grew up with computers of all shapes and sizes. The ability to ask a computer anything, anywhere, everything I've spent my last decade working on is not amazing to you. That's okay. It doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me hopeful. There are probably things about technology that frustrate you and make you impatient. Don't lose that impatience. It'll create the next technology revolution and enable you to build things my generation could never dream of. You may be just as frustrated by my generation's approach to climate change or education. Be impatient. It'll create the progress the world needs. You will make the world better in your own way, even if you don't know exactly how. The important thing is to be open-minded so that you can find what you love. For me, it was technology. The more access my family had to technology, the better our lives got. So when I graduated, I knew I wanted to do something to bring technology to as many others as possible. At the time, I thought I could achieve this by building better semiconductors. I mean, what could be more exciting than that? My father spent the equivalent of a year's salary on my plane ticket to the US so I could attend Stanford. It was my first time ever on a plane. But when I eventually landed in California, things weren't as I had imagined. America was expensive. A phone call back home was more than $2 a minute. And a backpack cost the same as my dad's monthly salary in India. And for all the talk about the warm California beaches, that water was freezing cold. On top of all that, I missed my family, my friends, and my girlfriend, now my wife, back in India. A bright spot for me during this time was computing. For the first time in my life, I could use a computer whenever I wanted to. It completely blew my mind. And at the same moment, the internet was literally being built all around me. The year I arrived at Stanford was the same year the browser Mosaic was released, which popularized the World Wide Web and the internet. The summer I left was the same summer that a graduate student named Sergey Brin met a prospective engineering student named Larry Page. These two moments would profoundly shape the rest of my life. But at the time, I didn't know it. It took me a while to realize that the internet would be the single best way to make technology accessible to more people. And as soon as I did, I changed course and decided to pursue my dreams at Google. Inspired by the wonder that first browser created in me, I led the effort to launch one called Chrome in 2009 and drove the effort to help Google develop affordable laptops and phones so that a student growing up in any neighborhood or village in any part of the world could have the same access to information as all of you. Had I stayed the course in graduate school, I'd probably have a PhD today, which would have made my parents really proud. But I might have missed the opportunity to bring the benefits of technology to so many others. And I certainly wouldn't be standing here speaking to you as Google CEO. Believe me when I say I saw none of this coming when I first touched down in the state of California 27 years ago. The only thing that got me from there to here, other than luck, was a deep passion for technology and an open mind. So take the time to find the thing that excites you more than anything else in the world. Not the thing your parents want you to do, or the thing that all your friends are doing, or that society expects of you. I know you're getting a lot of advice today, so let me leave you with mine. Be open, be impatient, be hopeful. If you can do that, history will remember the class of 2020, not for what you lost, but for what you changed. You have the chance to change everything. I'm optimistic you will. Thank you. Achieve this.
Okay. So what was the last statement he made? Tell me. Be passionate and Ashwin. Ashwin.
Be open.
Be open and you can do wonders. Okay. That's all for today. See you. Bye-bye.